Looking to get away from the day-to-day grind, whether it's for a weekend or for weeks at a time. In this video, we'll go over some options to see what fits your needs. Option 1, your ground tent. That's going to be your friendliest budget version, and it's just going to depend on your personal preference of style, color, and just to serve whatever purpose you're looking to have with this tent. With the ground tents, you can use them in a backpack, which is going to be pretty compact, pretty small, take up way less space. There's larger sizes if you have kids to take along. That's going to take up more space in your vehicle, but it's going to accommodate your needs. Rooftop tents, your second option. You're going to be spending a little bit more money, but if you want a solid tent and be off the ground, the experience with a rooftop it's pretty good. The joke goes, smiles per gallon when it comes to a rooftop tent. Again, brands and all that, depending on your needs, that's going to dictate your price range for a rooftop tent, your RTT option. Your third option, that's going to be a camper, obviously. Again, that's going with the more expensive range, and you're going to be looking to spend money. You need to consider a few factors involved, really. You need to have a vehicle that's capable to pull the camper if that's what you go with. And obviously with that, just with anything, you do shopping, you're going to find budget options for that, whether it be used, or you're going to go a little bit more frivolous with your money and spend a little bit more money for new, obviously. Different sizes, different options, different brands. With all three of these examples, just depends on your needs and what you're looking forward to get out of it. The whole point is to get out there and enjoy. If that's what you're looking to do, then by all means do it. Make it happen. Figure out what your budget is, figure out what your needs are, and go do it. Go check out the national forest, the state park, the BLM land. BLM land is great. Your ground tents, they're going to be, obviously that's where everybody talks about when you go roughing it. That's going to be your option. There is a cheaper option, maybe a little bit more of a space saving, obviously, because you don't have a big tent on top of your vehicle and on top of the rack with, like there is with the rooftop tent. You're not going to have a big camper behind you with the camper. So you can get the small ones and go backpacking. You can get the larger ones. Again, for if you're a family person, then go with the larger one. If you're indeed looking for, or if your budget is the ground tent option. If you're looking to kind of elevate your camping and your quality of sleep and overall experience camping, the rooftop tent option is the go-to. I consider that the best bang for your buck. My age, I'm mid-30s, so, and I have kids. I'm looking to go a little bit above a ground tent and get a little bit better quality experience that way. There's multiple factors to consider with the rooftop tents. Since you're going to be putting it on top of your vehicle, typically, there are options to put them on a trailer and tow it behind your vehicle as well. But in the sense that you put it on top of your vehicle on a rack, consider that you will be losing fuel mileage. Typically within about 5 miles less than what you're currently getting with your vehicle and your setup. So adding a rooftop tent, typically you're going to lose within, again, 5 miles per gallon that you will be losing, and it will affect. You'll notice it at the pump. You'll notice it on your trip, whatever. It's just a consideration. If a rooftop isn't going to fit your needs, then so be it. Campers, with it being the pricier way to go, again, just like with anything, your opinion, your preferences, your budget, your situation, really. Campers offer definitely your most luxurious experience as far as camping and getting out to go see some stuff and do some camping, do some overnights out and about. I've had experience with campers in the past. They're great. Uh, it's like a mobile hotel. So that's the best way to put it. I mean, with any of this, you're going to be packing your own food, packing your own clothes, packing all that stuff to take with you. So whatever you go with, whether it be the ground tent option, the rooftop tent, or the camper, just consider all the factors. And really that's what you got going, is to consider those, figure out what fits you, what you're looking for, and what your situation is, and go from there. Once you get everything figured out, what fits your budget, what fits your situation and your needs, then plan a trip. Figure out where you want to go based on where you're at. Figure out, say, the closest state park or the closest national park, depending on where you live in the country. Figure out, typically, your Bureau of Land Management, like BLM land, that is going to be typically mid-country out to the west coast towards California. There's way more open spaces and options for that type of camping, and in my opinion, that's your best option because it's free. It's totally free. BLM is free. And there's also dispersed or primitive camping, as they're calling it now, I guess. That's free camping as well. As long as there's an established fire ring and you're off of the road, you're within their guidelines and policies per the park or wherever you're going, you're good to go. So for me personally, I like to budget the free option, and personally I enjoy that better too, because for one, most times going to be away from virtually everybody, unlike a campground. And if, by all means, if a campground is where you'd prefer to be, go for a campground. I like to stay away from campgrounds. I like to stay away from crowds. It's always, in my experience, been quieter and just a better experience. I mean, the whole purpose to get out and do the exploring and do the camping is to get away from all of it. And you're, like I said at the beginning, you're getting away from the day to day, and you're getting out, you're exploring, you're enjoying nature, all that stuff. That's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. The bottom line is to get out and enjoy what this country has to offer. There's so many great places to go to. Obviously, a lot of the big name ones, you're going to get larger crowds, but there's ways around that, and I will definitely cover that, specifically Yellowstone National Park. I came across a video last year sometime, a bunch of them really, that were kind of like, oh, you gotta have 3 days specific to go to Yellowstone and this and that. And depending on what you're looking to get out of the experience in Yellowstone, you don't necessarily have to do it in 3 days and spread it out and take a bunch of time. If you have that, if you have the time to do it and that's what you want to do, then go for it. Me personally, with my kids, we had the time to do Yellowstone and then cut across the opposite direction to Devil's Tower and then another state in to go see Mount Rushmore. So time was very limited, and it usually is. So doing Yellowstone for me personally is completely doable for the main attractions. The absolute go-tos for Yellowstone is completely doable in pretty much a half a day. And I say that because we did it. We did Old Faithful first thing in the morning, straight over to Grand Prismatic Spring because it's within a mile of Old Faithful, And then we cruised over to the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone, checked that out. And on our way out, we stopped at the east end of the lake to an amazing viewpoint that you can see across the whole lake. It was an awesome experience. And from there, we drove the rest of the afternoon and evening and made it over to the opposite end of the state to go see Devil's Tower. That way, the next morning when we did that, we were directly on our way to go to Mount Rushmore, and from there, home. So it was a quick trip. It was an awesome trip. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. That's typically the way I enjoy doing trips. Pack a lot of stuff in a quick amount of time. Because again, I'm on a budget, and that's the way that suits my needs. So, however you decide to do it, however you can do it, that's what you need to do, and just go do it. So, figure out if you're looking to just do some simple hiking and backpacking, tent camping, like on the ground tent, obviously with a hiking backpack, out in the backcountry, go and seeing some beautiful sights and scenes that you can't get to with a vehicle. That's an awesome option. And if that's what fits your needs and your budget, go for that. Rooftop tent, the RTT option. If that's what you're looking for, you're excited about getting into, I definitely push that idea and that option to everybody that's interested in doing this type of stuff, because to me, it really is the best bang for your buck. Yeah, you're with some of the cons, you're losing some fuel mileage. That's, to me, really the only con when it comes to rooftop tents. You're just losing fuel mileage because, again, miles per gallon. And if you're really a high roller or just someone that's got a more expendable budget, you go with the camper. So, just the whole point of this video was to kind of give you your options and price ranges, then take it from there. Thanks again for checking out this video. I do hope that it gave you some insight and some more info to kind of further your decision making and get you motivated to get out there and enjoy it. Again, explore, experience life. We'll see you around. Are you looking to get a